Hey YouTube, it's Maddie the Empty Nest Scrapper. Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you stopped by. If it's your first time, welcome. I hope you enjoy the content. And if you're returning, I am super glad you came back. So a while back, I used to do a little series called Tidy in 10. And I showed a few different ways that I tried to keep my scrapbook room, craft room, card making room in check and not all overwhelming and too hard to work in. So if you're like me, you need some order before you can create. And although that's true, I have been sort of on a bender with my buying, and I'll link somewhere in the video a video I did called Stop the Sabotage, which was about the problems we run into keeping our rooms in order because we keep bringing new stuff in. And that's what I'm starting this video off today. So it's not exactly a tidy 10. It's sort of going to be a tidy time because I have a basket that I keep. This is my basket, and I keep all my new purchases in it, waiting to be organized. And the process that I use to try to help myself stay organized is I am not allowed to play with any of my new toys until it is categorized, swatched, put away, whatever the process is for that particular type of supply. So I am going to share with you my basket of shame and let you just peek into what's been coming into my room. I absolutely have to stop the madness, and I'm at least going to begin to start putting these things away, and then of course making time to play with them, use them, and enjoy them. So first up, I sort of made a little category for myself of just the stamps that I brought in. So I'll give you a little peek. They're from all different places. This is Lawn Fawn, and it's a Get Well stamp. These are just stamps that I picked up from Amazon. I had decided I didn't have enough trees and flowers. I definitely did not have enough trees. Here you can see that better. But of course I think I did have enough flowers. But these are the stamps that I picked up all on Amazon. And this one is birds. And I tell you the truth, I don't think I have any birds. So kind of like these. I think they'll be real fun to color. And some larger flowers. There we go. So then it seemed to get into my head that I am seeing some fantastic background stamps from Simon Hurley. And sorry about the glare. And I sort of got on a bender and bought a bunch. I don't know what happened to the outside of this stamp, but the stamp works fine. I did test it, and this one is the pull apart. I'm excited to play with that. Can't seem to get rid of that glare, but you get the idea. Okay, so that's it with the stamps, and that is what I'm going to organize with you today. give you a quick peek of what else all is in here. And some of it, truthfully, I could put away in a few seconds. Some of it has to be organized in a system that I like to use for each category. So in other words, these perfect pearls have to be swatched. I swatch those all out, so that has to happen. I have a few, not quite so many like the stamps, but a few dies that I picked up, and those are flowers. Here's a thank you. I love those big sentiments. They almost make the card. Here's a background. That's a different category. That's a different category. I think that might be it on the dies. Just gonna check some more. And of course I have some, oh no. And then I got this Tim Holtz die. So this is gonna help me later on because they are in categories. This is a stencil I picked up at Dollar Tree. And here's the cutting mat that everybody has from Dollar Tree. I had the hardest time finding this forever. Excuse me. Oh, here's another die. I believe this one came free with the purchase, though. Yeah. Huh. Thought I was done, but not really. It's Chunky Sentiments dies. This is the die. Not the die. This is the 3D embossing folder that came with my Gemini. I actually never ever opened it and used it. Here's a stencil. And I can't even believe how much stuff I have here. Can't even, there's something wrong with me. Oh, there are some foam dots in black. Didn't have any of those. This I picked up in my recent visit to see my son who lives in Minnesota. There was a creative reuse store there, and I was very excited to go to a creative reuse store because we don't have any that I know about here locally. However, I'm not a junk journal maker, so there wasn't that much for me, but I picked up some stickers, which I don't need, but they're lovely. That's a wedding one. Make a lovely wedding card. Here's a baby one. I do have an idea for that as well. Here's a little dog one. Another dog. This one is tennis. This one is baby. This one is little boy. Ooh. There you go. This one is all New York icons. And these are just some flat sticko stickers there. So I don't know if you guys look at stickers at all at the big box stores. I know you can get them at Dollar Tree, but this big bag of stickers was $6. So I don't feel too bad about that. And then of course, last but not least, I had to go to a Dollar Tree to see if they had some inventory that my Dollar Tree doesn't have. So yes and no. I picked up this Cricut tool, which my Dollar Tree does have. This Cricut tool also, which my Dollar Tree does have. These sticky mats, I picked up 2 because I have not seen them locally, and that is why I went in to try and find. And also the stamps, which we do not have locally. So that was fun. All right, let's put away the bucket of shame. All of that has to be put away, and that is going to be a job and a half. But I did decide to try to tackle the largest category. This is like months and months and months of just buying things and throwing them aside. So what I do with my stamps is I stamp out a sample, then I put the sample in my binder. So here are my samples, and I've stamped them all out. Here are some pages that I prepared for my binder because, of course, I hadn't been prepared and had extra pages in my binder because that's what I wish I was doing, but that is not actually what I do. And then after I fill the pages, I will place the pages in my stamp inventory binder. And last but not least, I will put the actual stamps in some Avery pockets and then file those pockets into my stamp-ins. So that's how I keep them, in a Dollar Tree bucket. And there are dividers, and the dividers are all labeled, and the labeled are just something I made on my label maker, and this is just a laminated piece of cardstock. So there you have it. I have 3 buckets that carry my stamps, but they are not that large. They are the smaller buckets from Dollar Tree. And I'm hoping that I can continue to store all of my stamps in these 3 buckets because I think I may overflow. Be this as it may, I'm going to take you along with my tidy time and try to go from beginning to end. That's why I showed you my bucket of shame with all that I had purchased. Go from beginning to end, putting away my samples, and then putting away my stamps. So I did have pity on you and did not take you along for making these pockets, which is tedious to say the least. And did not take you along for stamping them all out, which I had once done. And if ever you want to see a boring video, take a look at that one. I apologize for putting that out there. Yes, I do. Okay, I believe these 2 go together. Let's see if we fit. I think we might. Should have probably made this a little bit smaller, but we'll figure that out some other day. And here we go. We'll just go the other way with this one. And it'll fit in a lot easier. So that's fine. And then the birds will also be in the same section in my binder. This one I think will share in a page that's already done. And here come my background stamps. I think we're only going to get one per page. Why don't we just turn these all around, shall we? Yeah. Okay. So rather than set a timer, which is not something I would actually do if I was just working on a project myself, I would just take a project, like one day I took stamping these all out. And when I was done, no matter what time it was, I was done. I didn't try to do all of it. It was too overwhelming. There was too much. But I took a piece of it. And that's what I was trying to bring across with Tidy and 10. You don't have to do all of cleaning up your craft room. Oh, I should use the other side of this instead of starting a new one. You don't have to do all, because that may be too much for a day or even a week. But if I just say to myself, I am going to tackle stamping out my samples. That's what I'm going to do. And I did do that in one sitting. I was happy with that. I didn't really need a timer or a time limit. What I needed was a bite of a task that wasn't going to be too overwhelming. And that is really what I had. I had a task that I could do, and it did take a while. I'm not gonna lie. It did take a while. These are spares, and I'm happy to have that. So I'm gonna put the spares aside and move on to my album. So I don't have sentiments today. I don't have critters today. I don't have travel, crafts, flowers, and nature. Yes, I do. So let's get to the end of my flowers and nature and add in what belongs there. So I do have a floral background, but I am not going to add that in. So I think I'm going to put this one first. And I do believe, now that I checked, I made a mistake on this one and only used one side. And I'm going to put this in with the extras and add this to the other side. So if you haven't tried stamping out samples for all of your stamps, I do find it to be very, very useful when I'm choosing what I am looking for. I do have some minis and backgrounds. Yes, absolutely. And this is what I thought I would share a page with something. Do I have something small that has room? I may just put it here if there's nothing smaller than that. And that probably is what I'm going to do. Okay. So we'll just move you down a bit and give you a little friend. There you go. And then I guess, add the large backgrounds at the front. That's what I think I'm going to do. The large backgrounds, go large to small. And I actually thought I saw another Simon in here, maybe not. But going to have to change the front a bit. And take these out if I'm going to do the large to small first. So let's have a go at that. There they are. Then I'm going to put one at the spare. It's okay if I have a space, you never know. I may have some more large background dies that I want to add in later or change it up a bit. Not a big deal when you're just flipping through. And also when I put these away, it reminds me of what I have that I haven't used. I would love to use that background, and I'm gonna do it. Okay, so that's complete. Pretty satisfied already. All right, guys, let's go ahead and grab our stamp packets. I just pulled out a bunch. I made a bunch. Don't know if I have enough or not, and if I don't, I'll figure that out afterwards. So, these are, if you've ever seen my tidy videos before, these are my Avery L pockets, and of course, this comes from the Jennifer McGuire way of storing. Now, she puts the company and the name of the stamp. You know, I don't bother with that. They are in, for me, they are in clear plastic. The reason I put the white backing is so that when I pull it out, I can see exactly what that stamp is relatively clearly, because it's on the white backing. So that's the main reason that I put it on the white backing. I use, if you're interested, Michael's 65-pound cardstock. Oh, doesn't fit in this size. What do you know? We need one of the large ones. Even though it doesn't look that large to me, too wide, didn't fit. So, in we go, bud. Okay, there it is. These guys are small. I will not need the larger one for this. My little trees. And, but those flowers coming up. And of course, the backgrounds will need a larger one. But, got some trees. That would make a lovely card, I think. And I've started to try to think about what will make a nice card for men. Because I have 2 sons and a husband. I do have a daughter-in-law, but most of my cards are floral. And, you know, I don't give those florals to men, so I generally have way overstock for flowers because that's what I like to color in. But I do need options for the loved ones in my life. So that's why I sort of gravitated to at least buying some trees. Not even sure if I would do birds with them. But I guess it's how you put it together for that. But the trees, branches, things like that are more universal. And this one is larger as well. So just gonna put these all in their pockets. And once that's done, we just file them in the buckets and go on our merry way. So I don't know if it's tidy in 10. I don't know if it's tidy in 20. I also did that bucket of shame share, so that probably took more time than anything. But I felt like I don't want to be a fraud. I did a whole video a couple of weeks ago on the things we have to stop telling ourselves to rationalize our overspending. And then I look at that big, huge bucket and say, you know, I better start listening to myself, because from where I sit, that is a whole lot of stuff. Whole lot of stuff indeed. And I at least have to put it away. So I do think that it takes me time to do all the things I want done. Making the samples, making the pockets, and so forth before it's all put away. And if you have a less cumbersome system, you know, that's probably better. But this is what I know. This is what I do. This is how I figure out what I have on the regular. And so I tend to try not to let it get this overwhelming and large. That's why I can't put away everything in that bucket of shame. But I can at least put away things in batches. Some of the things in that bucket were ink refills. I'm trying to build those up slowly. So some of the ink refills have been in there for months because I just buy them every couple of months. So, you know, that is not one haul, that is not 2 hauls. You know, that might be 10 hauls. I got my room back a few months ago, but for 8 months, I didn't buy anything. And then I gave myself license to go wild, and I believe that was probably a mistake. But I felt sorry for myself. I hadn't been able to be in my craft room, and now that I could, I rewarded myself. And there's nothing wrong with that, rewarding yourself. However, how many rewards did I deserve? Not as many as I gave myself, I'll tell you that. So here is everything I've completed. These are empties, yay, which I will have the next time. I'm gonna put those in the back of the bucket where they live. Here's the large, here's the small, and these go in the small bucket as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you inspiration to do some cleaning, decluttering, tidying. You can use a timer. You don't need to use a timer. Just do whatever feels right to you. But I just know that I can't do the whole room necessarily, depending on how bad it is. So this is what I do. So I hope you grabbed something to organize and organized along with me. And I hope you enjoyed the content. And if you did, please comment below. Tell me what systems you use. And if you can teach me something that's a little bit less cumbersome, I'd love to learn it. So if you enjoyed, please subscribe, like, and above all, everybody, stay safe. Bye-bye, YouTube.